What is up, everybody? We're back with another video, and today we're doing Fortnite versus Warzone. Now, if any of you guys are not familiar with Warzone, Warzone is a battle royale game made by Call of Duty. Well, not made by Call of Duty, it's from Call of Duty. It's made by Activision, and I think Treyarch, I'm not sure. Treyarch more does zombies for COD, but that released March 20th, 2020, this year. So I thought, why not compare the top battle royale game right now, Fortnite, and let's look at the comparison. So first off, and this is for you guys too, if you guys ever want to know like the difference between them. First off, we're going to talk about graphics. Now, Fortnite has amazing graphics along with Warzone. They both have amazing graphics. There's difference though. Like Fortnite is more of like a cartoony game where it's like more cartoony, not realistic. It's more have fun, cartoony, colorful type deal. Warzone's graphics are a lot more realistic, a lot more like you're actually like doing it, you know, like that's just how it is. Warzone is pretty close to real life. Like that's what makes Warzone amazing. But that's also what makes Fortnite amazing. It's so colorful and stuff that like it makes more kids want to play. That's why Fortnite targets more kid audiences and Warzone targets more teen to 20 audiences. Now, that's not saying like you can't play if you're out of those ranges, but I'm just saying Fortnite targets more younger audience and Warzone targets more teen range audience because that's just how it is. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about is themes. Fortnite didn't have to stick with the theme. Epic Games has multiple games. Like there's just this company that makes multiple games, but Fortnite was their first like real big game to go off the charts, like unlike any other of their other games. And Fortnite didn't really have to stick with a theme. Warzone coming out, Activision had to stick with a theme. You couldn't, like, if Activision were to do something cartoony, that would look totally weird because Activision is known for making all the Call of Duty series and stuff like that. That's why Warzone had to stick with that realistic theme and have that realistic feel to it, because that's what Call of Duty has to it. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. They had to stick with that specific theme so that way they could like keep the theme going. Now, Fortnite and Epic didn't have to do that. Epic could have created whatever they want, and they did. They created a colorful, more map, but enough to where it's still you're fighting and it's fun and engaging. Now, topic number 3 we're going to talk about for now. I'm sorry if I'm going really fast, guys. This one's going to take a while. So, topic number 3 we're going to talk about is game features. Now, if you guys aren't, if you guys have played both, there's a ton of different features of both games. So, that's what we're going to talk about. So, first, the amount of people on the bus. What I like this is just personal opinion, and that's just my opinion. What I like that Warzone does, that Fortnite does not, is shows you how many people are left on the plane, or in Fortnite's instance, the bus. So, that's a cool feature because then you can see, and you can get a range of when people jump out and stuff, and then you can learn where you want to land and stuff. Not saying, like, go to the end every time, but then, like, maybe in the middle when there's only, like, 80 people left in the bus or something, and then you can see how many people come out with you because you can see how much that lowers. I think that's an amazing feature that I think Fortnite should add, but may not. I don't know. Now, next thing we're going to talk about is the zones. Now, Warzone has faster closing zones, and Warzone zone hits for the same amount every time. Fortnite, it does 1 damage for the first zone, 2 damage for the second, so on and so forth, till like the end is like 10 damage, if I'm right. Warzone does it different. Warzone is the same damage the entire time, and I think you can last about 10 seconds in it without a gas mask, which is a lot, but at the same time is not that much if you're trying to get out of the storm and go fight somebody, because you also have to remember, in Warzone, there's no building. You can't find cover. You have to find cover in buildings. You can't build your own cover. Fortnite's different in that aspect. Fortnite, you can build your cover. You don't have to be as strategic, in my opinion. Like, you still have to be strategic, but you don't have to be as strategic as in, like, Warzone, where you have to go immediately find cover or watch out for those snipers and stuff. Fortnite, you can build your cover and actually decently, like, get cover fast as long as you have mats. Now, the other thing we're going to talk about is circles. Now, Warzone's map is huge compared to Fortnite. Like, we're talking probably almost, if we're being realistic here, doubles the size. But that's also because Warzone also has 150 people. That's the other thing. Warzone, each lobby contains 150. Fortnite contains only 100. Now, Warzone's people goes down less. Like, if you're in, like, the 5th circle, which is really small, then, you're down to, like, 30 people left. And it's unlike Fortnite, where, like, in normal play, in scrims, you're only down to, like, 8 people in, like, a semi-small circle, but it's also semi-big. And that's just how it is. It's just more competitive in that sense. And the other thing to go along with that is matchmaking. Warzone doesn't have any matchmaking or player-based matchmaking, which makes it harder for new people who are trying to play Warzone to have a good game and to actually win the game. Now, Fortnite has player-based skill level matchmaking, so they've added a little bit more bots into each lobby, so it's easier to win the game first. And, like, for example, like, I played the first few games of Warzone. I didn't win a single game. Now, when Fortnite came out on Android not too long ago, since you all know I have an Android, or if you didn't, now you know. So Fortnite came out with, Epic came out with Fortnite on Android not too long ago, just a few weeks ago. I made 2 accounts on the mobile account. Both games, both the first games, I hooked up the Xbox controller Bluetoothly and played, right? These are the first games of both. Now, both first games I came out with double-digit kills because they're bots. I did research that they are bots. And the second play, so when you're down to the final 2, your big circle in Fortnite, when it's your first game on, like, mobile especially, this is just from my personal experience, and the second guy, every time when it was a 1v1 against me and some guy, he always died in Storm, and then I would win because he died in Storm. That happened twice to me, twice, in 2 different circles. So that just is a little bit, and Fortnite needs to almost, like simmer down the matchmaking just a tiny bit, because everybody that's going Warzone is not, like, as competitive. Like, when they get them back, they're not as good, because they decrease over time. That's just how skill level is. It just decreases over time without spending 8 hours a day on Fortnite still. So they need to fix that, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. The other thing we're going to talk about is servers, and game features. Like, Fortnite servers are a lot more laggy and a lot more broken. They did come out with a tweet saying that they were going to fix it before the duos, or before they held any tournaments, and they put the tournaments in, and everybody thought they were fixed, but it actually made them worse. So that was kind of just something that I found out that I'm just throwing in there. There's also game modes. Like, Fortnite has creative, arena solos, arena duos, squads, stuff like that. Warzone does not. Warzone only has solos, trios, and squads, which is really weird too, because, like, I would expect a lot of games don't have duos, which is really weird. And I mean, it's fine, it's cool, but like Apex only has, I know we're not talking about Apex, but Apex only has trios. That, like, it's just weird, you know, like, whew, a lot of talking, sorry. I need a drink, hold on.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Ugh. Alright, so, like, a lot of games don't have duos. Excuse me. The next thing we're going to talk about is the fact that Epic Games has vaulted so much stuff that really has brought in their game, like, to a down. Like, people say how much they hate it, but Fortnite has the most players they've ever had. So, from a visual standpoint, like a business standpoint, or Epic Games standpoint, I could see why they, one, don't want to bring the map back. Because nobody, like, it's just there. Like, more people are playing this map than they were last map. So they might as well just keep this map until more people leave, which makes sense to me. Another thing was, if none of you know, in 2010, Epic Games released a game called Infinity Blade. I'm 99% sure it's on mobile, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. They released a game called Infinity Blade. Now, you had to beat all these people and all these, like, enemies to get the Infinity Blade, which was, like, powerful in that game. They then took that and brought it into Fortnite. That's where they got Infinity Blade. They get a lot of their ideas from old games, which is not a bad idea. And really helps them in the long run, but they need to like unvolt things. Like eventually we'll talk about vehicles here soon. So next thing we're going to talk about is their weapons. The difference. So Fortnite, for example, has 10 weapons, and I've done the research on these, I know for a fact. So Fortnite only has 10 weapons. This is including, by the way, none of these numbers include like grenades. This includes shotguns, ARs, pistols, rocket launchers, SMGs, snipers, and marksman rifles, right? So Fortnite only has 10 weapons right now. They have 2 different types of shotgun, and this isn't also, this is like tactical shotgun and pump shotgun. This isn't including like all the legendary, all that. So they have 2 shotguns, 2 different ARs, 1 pistol, 1 rocket launcher, 3 SMGs, and 1 sniper. Now, that's a lot, but it's not as much as compared to Warzone, which also has taken things from their old games and used them to make it more realistic and to help with the weapon choice. Fortnite only has 10 weapons. Warzone has 34 weapons. This includes 5 shotguns, 10 ARs, 6 pistols, 1 rocket launcher, 7 SMGs, 3 snipers, and 5 marksman rifles. And this is just the research I've done, which is huge too. And another huge thing is the balances. Like, Fortnite doesn't do too good about balancing the weapons. Warzone does a little bit more. It's not even like Warzone snipers could do a little bit more damage. They don't do that much damage, but their shotguns do more damage, and it's actually like hitting people with how much it hits. Like Fortnite, you could be right up next to somebody, hit them with a shotgun, and only hit 1 pellet and do 9 damage. And other times you could do 200. Like, that's just how it is. Warzone is pretty even in that and does a very good job about balancing that weapon. Next thing we're going to talk about is vehicles. Fortnite really needs to start adding more transportation, whether that be unvolting like the ATV or the quad crashers, stuff like that. They need to add more vehicles to their game because they only have helicopters and boats. That's the only form of transportation on that map, which sucks because I most times feel like I'm running all the time to the circle, which is not how a game should be like that, and that's not fun. Now, Warzone has an ATV, tactical rover, SUV, cargo truck, and helicopter. Now, I will say, Warzone, if you're going like 2 miles an hour in a vehicle in Warzone, it will down you, so that sucks a little bit because it's not even 100%, but yeah. The other thing, too, that Warzone has that Fortnite kind of has is, this is more respawns. This is, Warzone has Gulag, which means you don't have to rely on your teammates to bring you back. Now, obviously, if you're playing, like, squads or trios and you lose in the Gulag, then they can buy you back. But and then solos, you can get yourself back. Now, I like that it closes after the 4th circle, because that means, like, you can't infinitely get back and stuff, and you can only go to the Gulag once, so that's out there. Fortnite, you have to rely on your teammates too, and solos, once you're dead in solos, you're done. Like, that's it. So, topic number 4 we're going to talk about is gameplay. Fortnite has so many different game situations. Like, if we're breaking it down, there's so many different things you have to be ready for, like building. Every time you're in a build battle with someone, it's different. It's different. You have to think differently, and you have to do everything different. Like, somebody could do an edit play on a wall one time, do an edit play on the roof the other, do an edit play on the floor one time, shoot you down. Miniguns are overpowered in Fortnite. I also forgot to add LMGs, so that's my bad. Warzone, I didn't even include LMGs, and Fortnite, I forgot to add the minigun, but that's just my bad. But yeah, like Fortnite, there's so many different scenarios that you can get in. Warzone, there's only a select few, because if you go against the same guns every time, and depending on the person's accuracy, you can learn how to do like little tricks and like get them to peek or something like that. So that's just how different game situations are. And strategy is much harder in Warzone because you can't build, so you can't build for cover. You have to always be finding cover without building because you can't build, so it's difficult. Versus Fortnite, you can just walk in the middle of the open, and if you get shot at, you can automatically have cover. Like, that's just how that is. Topic number 5, which we're going to try to keep short as we can, is popularity. Warzone has a big plate to carry. They have so many good games that Activision has so many good games that they have out that's just out there, but such as Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare, stuff like that. They have like I'm trying to word this. They have a very high standard. So to come out with a game like this is very impressive and very good. Now we'll see how it stacks up in the next few months against Fortnite. Because Fortnite, Epic Games didn't really have anything to go off of, but they also didn't have a very high standard. They started really low if you look back in Season 1, graphics, glitches, everything. They started really low and built it higher and higher and higher, which was good. Epic has also only been around for 29 years, versus Activision has been around for 40 years, which is crazy to think, too, because Activision's been around pretty much as long as computers have, if not longer, so it's a little weird thing, but yeah, so that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more game versus game commentaries, let us know down in the comment section below. Go check us out on Twitter, Instagram, our Discord, and our Twitch, and yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later. Peace.